I'm Sonia Dillafos, and welcome to Back to School Live, where we are here to give you 6 full periods of professional development to get you ready for this next school year, wherever you are in the world. We are just about to kick off first period, which is all about professional and staff development using Microsoft Teams and the Microsoft Educator community. I'm joined today by Michelle Zimmerman, an educator and school leader from Renton Prep here in the Seattle area, and Rana from our very own Teams team here at Microsoft. And she's going to help show you Microsoft Teams and how it can get your staff and school kick-started with collaborative spaces and PLCs. Michelle, now you and your school all summer long have been using Teams, and you've been using it to get it set up for the school year. So why don't you show us a little bit about what you guys have been doing over there at Renton Prep?
Sure. Teams is one of the tools that has really surprised me. I know it's typical to wonder if your staff is getting all the emails or being able to get documents. That's been one of the first things that I noticed streamline the process of getting back to school. With Teams, I was able to not only introduce the original staff to some of the summer training we were doing with our professional development and onboarding, but I was able to have them help me collaborate and identify things that would be most beneficial for those teachers who are starting for the first time with technology. We're able to embed PDFs, have usable Word documents, and then even talk about things like Minecraft education, adding copies of different documents we're working at, and the @mention allows me to identify which teachers need to draw attention to something, and it goes directly to their mobile device as well as their inbox. But I'm able to talk with them about having different concepts and pulling together different pieces, adding in websites. And then one of the things that I really like about this is if someone's having a difficulty finding the exact location, I'm able to take screenshots and direct it immediately in the conversation section. So with that, I took one of the pictures of my staff looking at a mobile device using Teams on mobile and then adding other content. I finished up with one of the teams yesterday that I was working with, closed my computer and thought, oh, I wish I would have added in something else. I pulled out my mobile device and was able to add another team. We have the ability to collect files, and within the files, we're able to have other folders and summer training documents, some of the things that they would need really quickly. We can edit those right within Teams without having to change different apps or locations. We have staff OneNote notebooks, and then our Microsoft Educator community right on the web is directly inside. So our staff did Summer School 101 and Summer School 201 to get ready for this new school year.
Wow, that is awesome. I love how you guys got that set up and it's ready to go. And I want the rest of you to see how easy it is to get started setting up. So Rana here is going to now demo how quickly you all at home can get started setting up your teams for the year.
Thanks, Sonia. And Michelle, it's great to see how you all are using Teams already. So Michelle showed you Teams on our Windows desktop client, but we also have clients for Mac, iOS, Windows Phone, and Android, and for the web. So you can get started using Teams right on your web client. So I'm going to go down here to Add Team. And you'll see that within Office 365 for Education, you now have 4 different types of teams that you can use to get started. We have classes which are built for educators and students coming together and creating engaging and collaborative classroom scenarios that you'll see a little bit more in period 2. We have PLC groups that are for educators coming together and sharing best practices and learnings on how to improve teaching practices. We have a staff team, which is what Michelle just showed you. And we have teams for anyone, for student groups, for any project-based activity. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to get started with PLCs. So I'm going to create a PLC. It'll ask me to add a name. So let's say 2017 7th grade teachers. I'll press next. Then I can add in other teachers from across my school and district, but I'm going to skip that for now. And immediately you'll see that it creates a general channel. And general channels I like to think of as essentially a digital bulletin board. So here's where you can come together and create announcements that the entire team will see. You can @mention the entire channel and give them a little bit of announcement. You can even add a title for it, mark it as high priority, and send it out to the entire team. And this is a really great way to save your inbox from the types of communications that are just quick back and forth that you just want the whole team to see, but don't necessarily need to engage on. Across the top, you'll see files. As Michelle mentioned, these is where you can add your folders and add documents. And because Teams is built on Office 365 groups, you get a SharePoint site that comes right with it. So you can manage your files here, and if you want to go into SharePoint, you can do that as well. You'll see that I have a PLC notebook that's already right there, ready for me to go. And just with one click, my OneNote notebook comes right online, and I can start interacting with it right within Teams. And you'll see we have our overview and some templates and different sections with Teams that you can use. I can also add other apps from Microsoft and third-party partners to keep everything my PLC team needs right at our fingertips. So we have our Office 365 apps like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Power BI, but I can also bring in partners like Flipgrid and add video discussions and rich interactions right into my team's experience. And again, I'm not popping around from one to the other. I'm doing it right here, all within Teams. And I can keep making this my own by adding more channels for different topics and making the conversation focused. So I can add a channel, let's say, let's talk specifically about lesson planning here. And right away, my team knows that when we want to talk about lesson planning, that's where we head to. So that's how you can get started with PLCs and Teams. Head to aka.ms/edustart and get started today.
Thank you, Rana. That was awesome. So Michelle and Rana just showed you how professional development can happen with PLCs or the whole school using Teams. But we at Microsoft are focused at also providing you the resources to get you going, whether you are an individual teacher, instructional specialist, school leader, whatever it is, if you're focused on the needs of many educators, we have the spot for you. Let me show you our Microsoft Educator community. It's the one destination for you and your colleagues to learn, connect, and share. Let's take a walk over here to the hub where I have it loaded over here. So here we are on our main landing page. I can see here it is home. It's education.microsoft.com. I'm already signed in up here. You can sign in with a variety of sign-in options. And once I'm in, there's a few places I want to point out to you. Now, you saw Michelle had this loaded in here, and she actually required all of her teachers this summer to take some of the courses to get them ready for the school year. So by jumping right down here to courses and resources, I see here I have a lot of different choices, and we have them organized. If you want Office 365, Michelle's teachers did 101 and 201 here. OneNote, Sway, apps, and so on. And one of the courses that's in there is our Introduction to Microsoft Teams course. So this is a course that was written by teachers, for teachers that have been using the tool, and it really talks about how you and your school can get started today using Teams. And I really suggest that you use it as a staff first to get used to it, and that will really help transition you into using it with kids. We also have lots of resources, and our resources are pages to help you get started with ideas, with thoughts, with maybe some videos. And again, I'm going to show you one of our resources we have is the Meet Microsoft Teams resource. And on this, it just gives you kind of a high-level overview. And at the bottom of this page, you'll see we have some getting started guides, because I know my teachers that I've always worked with love to have PDFs that they can print out and have by their side. Here you go, get you going. Another little known fact. Now, little story. Last year, my sister-in-law asked if I could come speak to her daughter's class because they couldn't afford to go on a field trip. And I was shocked that my own sister-in-law did not realize that we have something called Skype in the Classroom. And so if you go over to the Skype in the Classroom site, you have a way to connect with classes and teachers and schools all over the world. But one of my favorite features is our virtual field trips. Virtual field trips. How would you like to take your students to the Grand Canyon, or to learn about snakes, or to visit a turtle hospital? Your students can now go anywhere in the world. It's totally free. Just sign up for our educator community, pick a field trip, and get ready to take your kids on an amazing trip this year. Also, we have hundreds of thousands of educators in our community, and they're uploading and sharing their own lesson plans and resources. So if you're someone that's looking for a new way to use Teams, or a new way to use OneNote, or a new way to use a virtual field trip, be sure to check that out as well. And lastly, everything in our whole educator community we have badges and points. And so I kind of wanted to take you over here. We have tons of badges. So some of the badges are for programs we have. I'm going to challenge each and every one of you out there to become a certified MIE in the next 2 weeks, and I'll explain that here in a minute. but Michelle is actually an MIE expert, so she has that badge. And we have badges for courses, so when you complete a course, you earn a badge. You can earn badges for sharing content on social and for all of your Skype activities as well. So back to becoming a certified MIE. So up here you'll see we have a tab here for our MIE programs. And when I go up here, here's how to become a Microsoft Innovative Educator. And I challenge all of you out there watching today, if you are not one of my MIEs yet, come here. It's very easy. All you have to do, and you can pick your own path. It's differentiated. Choose how you want to become an MIE. Take some courses. These courses are worth up to 1,000 points. These are up to 3,000 points. Once you hit 1,000 points, you earn your MIE badge and you're part of our MIE family. So with that, now that you've seen how easy it is to get Microsoft Teams up and running, you've seen a real-life example of it in action, and our educator community, which is full of professional learning resources, let's open it up to questions from you. I'm going to walk back over here to the table today, join Michelle and Rana, and we have a question, I believe, coming in. Well, this question actually looks like it's for me. So the first question that just came in says, can anyone become an MIE, and are all of the resources free? Michelle, can anyone become an MIE?
Yes, definitely.
And your staff, how many staff do you have at your school roughly?
We have about 20 staff that are all MIEs, and then we're having the academic coaches become MIEs also, so they have that background and experience.
So not just your teaching staff, but your instructional staff, your instructional aides, everyone can come to the site. Everything on the site is free. You don't need to sign in to access any of it, but if you want to start earning points or you want to do any of the Skype interactions, be sure that you sign up and it's totally free. So again, challenging you to do that. All right, I think we're ready for our next question, and I see that's coming in right now. So here's the question. How should I think about Teams versus Yammer versus SharePoint versus Outlook? So what should I use Teams for, Rana?
That's a really great question. So one of the benefits of being a part of the Office 365 suite is that you have this whole toolkit of collaboration tools that you can use depending on what makes sense for your team in the moment. So it really gives you the flexibility to use different things depending on how you're working together. How I like to think about using Teams versus SharePoint versus Yammer is really focused on who are the core people that you are working with day in and day out. So Teams is a really good digital hub to come together with the people that I call my inner loop, the people that I'm working with daily, people that I'm constantly sharing information with, creating deliverables with, and have to get access to information and access to them on a regular basis. Whereas Yammer is really good for that broader access to people beyond your school or beyond your district. It's really good for search and discovery. Maybe you don't know which team you're working with on. You can go to Yammer and share and discover things within that platform. Outlook then becomes a right-size situation. You really use email for the things that are more long-form, formal communications, maybe communicating with parents and school leaders. You're not necessarily kind of working on things together, but you're sharing information. And then SharePoint, as it's built into every Office 365 group and Teams, really becomes around file sharing, co-authoring, document sharing, and also creating team sites.
Wow, that really helps a lot because I get asked that question constantly. All right, I think we have another question coming in. And I know one of our tools that's really, really popular is forms. And that's just taken off like wildfire. So the question that's just come in is, can forms be added into Teams?
That's a great question. So right now, what you can do is add a website tab. When you go to your tabs across the top, you'll add a website tab, and you can link to a form, quiz, or document that you've created. But keep an eye on our product roadmap because we're always looking for ways to bring forms into the Teams experience.
And I'm going to piggyback off that because one of the things that I noticed the very first time I saw Teams was that add a tab feature. And the fact that that tab feature allows you to add any website, I think is really, really critical for teachers, because I know every teacher I've ever worked with sends their kids to this website for that website to that website to that, and pretty soon the kids are scattered all over the internet, and trying to get them pulled back in can be really difficult. So with Teams, you can actually pin, almost like pin, each of your websites to a different tab and your kids stay within Teams and stay in one location, which I think is really, really good.
That's been helpful for us too as we're planning, lesson planning, being able to have standards across the different tabs, whether it's technology standards or Common Core state standards, to be able to go back and forth quickly.
Oh, that is a great use of that. So I think we have a fourth question that has just come in. How does, and many of you out there have learning management systems, how does my school's LMS integrate with Teams?
That's a really great question. So right now we have a partnership going with Canvas to bring the Canvas LMS right into the Teams experience, and something that we're working on and we'll be delivering soon. And we're working with partners on a daily basis to bring more LMSs into Teams. And it really is a better together story. Teams is not meant to be an LMS replacement. It's really about bringing that LMS experience into that same collaborative, conversation-based hub. So again, you're not bouncing around from one app and one tool to the other. It's all in one spot.
Yeah, that's what I think what I'm most excited about is finally having that hub where all the work that you do, whether it's collaboration, whether it's communication, whether it's small groups, whether it's large group, now there's one space that can gather it all together and make it happen. And so pretty excited about that. All right, well, I think that's all the time we have. You guys, thank you so much for joining us here at First Period. Stay tuned because Second Period is starting up here in a few minutes. And thanks to Rana, thanks to Michelle. I've learned a lot, and I hope you guys have too. Thanks.